My dorm mate ate my stir-fry. This is what happened next. The rhythmic chop, chop, chop of my knife against the cutting board was almost meditative. Carrots, bell peppers, broccoli, each one transformed into neat, uniform pieces, destined for my glorious stir-fry. Biochemistry wasn't exactly relaxing, but cooking was my therapy. After a grueling day of lectures and lab work, the simple act of creating something delicious, something mine, was incredibly satisfying. I carefully portioned the stir-fry into 5 identical containers, each meticulously labeled with masking tape and a Sharpie Liam's stir-fry. Do not eat. One for each day of the week. I even included the date. Overkill? Maybe. But in the jungle that was our dorm fridge, clarity was survival. My roommate, Chad, lumbered in, radiating a post-workout haze of sweat and Axe body spray. He was the quintessential college jock, broad shoulders, perpetually tousled hair, and a casual arrogance that seemed to ooze from his pores. General studies major. Enough said. Smells good, man, he grunted, heading straight for the fridge. That's mine, Chad, I said, trying to keep my voice even. I made a whole batch for the week. He paused, hand hovering over one of the containers. Oh, my bad, I'm starving. Just got back from practice. He glanced at me, a sheepish, almost innocent look on his face. Didn't realize it was yours. I sighed. I really needed this stir-fry. It was balanced and nutritious. Things I often missed by resorting to cafeteria burgers. It's okay, just please leave the rest. I'm counting on that for my meals. No problem, dude. I got you. He grabbed a yogurt cup and headed out the door, whistling. I told myself it was a one-time thing. Accidents happen. People get hungry. I put the remaining containers in the fridge, pushing them to the back, hoping to discourage any further accidents. The next day, I reached for my designated stir-fry. Only 4 containers remained. I stared at the fridge in disbelief. Could he really? Chad walked in, whistling again. Hey, Liam, you wouldn't happen to have any extra snacks, would you? I'm like totally famished. I glared at him. You ate another one, didn't you? He avoided eye contact, rummaging through his side of the fridge, which was a chaotic mess of half-eaten energy bars and empty Gatorade bottles. Look, man, I was really hungry after practice. And well, it was right there. I thought maybe you made extra. I labeled them clearly. It says Liam's stir-fry. Do not eat. I couldn't keep the frustration out of my voice this time. He shrugged. Sorry, dude. I'll replace it. I'll buy you something. You'll buy me something? Chad. I spent an hour chopping vegetables and cooking that it's not about the money. It's about you just eating my food without asking. He threw his hands up. All right, chill. I said I'd replace it. What do you want, a pizza? Pizza was not a nutritionally balanced stir-fry. Just, please don't eat my food anymore. Is that really so hard? Yeah, I got it. He grabbed a protein shake and left, leaving me fuming. I started writing bigger, bolder labels. I used red marker. I even added exclamation points. Still, the stir-fry count dwindled. 3 containers became 2, then 1. Each time, Chad had a flimsy excuse. He was sleepwalking. He thought it was community food. He had a friend over who was really hungry. My grades were slipping. I was too tired to cook after classes, and the cafeteria food was making me feel sluggish. I started skipping meals altogether, clinging to the hope that I could salvage at least 1 container of stir-fry. My meticulously planned week was falling apart, all because of Chad's insatiable appetite and complete lack of respect. I confided in Sarah, our Raw. She was a psychology major, always calm and collected. I thought maybe she'd have some magical conflict resolution skills. That's really frustrating, Liam, she said, nodding sympathetically. Have you tried setting clearer boundaries? Maybe a written agreement? A written agreement? Really? With my roommate, it felt absurd. I also talked to Emily, a classmate in biochemistry. She was brilliant, driven, and had a no-nonsense attitude that I admired. He's eating your labeled food. That's insane, she said, her brow furrowed. You should put something unpleasant in it, like really spicy. That'll teach him. While tempting, I knew that was too far. I wasn't trying to hurt him, just to get him to stop eating my stuff. So I started small, petty even, but it was all I could think of. First, his laundry. Chad always used the same generic detergent. I bought a bottle of the cheapest, pinkest detergent I could find and subtly swapped it when he wasn't looking. He didn't notice until he pulled a load of laundry out of the dryer, filled with faintly pink-tinged white socks. He grumbled about faulty washing machines, but I felt a tiny spark of satisfaction. Next, his shampoo. He was obsessed with his hair. I replaced his expensive, volumizing shampoo with the dollar store variety. He complained about his hair being flat and lifeless, but again, didn't suspect a thing. It was pathetic, I knew, but it was a release. a way to channel my anger without actually confronting him directly. Then, I moved on to his protein powder. He was always bragging about his gains. I bought a cheaper, less effective protein powder and gradually replaced his. I even scooped out some of his old powder and mixed it in to make it less obvious. Professor Davies called me into his office. "Liam, your last quiz was concerning," he said, his voice grave. "You're a bright student. What's going on?" I mumbled something about stress and lack of sleep. I couldn't tell him the truth that I was spending all my energy on petty revenge plots instead of studying. He looked at me, his expression softening. "Take care of yourself, Liam. This course requires focus. Don't let yourself fall behind." I left his office feeling ashamed. I was letting Chad ruin my academic career. I needed to get a grip. Then the unthinkable happened. The night before our midterm, I went to grab my last container of stir-fry. Gone. Vanished. Empty. I found Chad sprawled on his bed, watching TV. He looked up mid-chew. "Oh hey Liam, that stir-fry was really good. Thanks, I saw red. That was my last one. Chad, I needed that for tomorrow. I have a midterm. Are you completely incapable of thinking about anyone but yourself?" I yelled. My voice was shaking. He just stared at me, mouthful of food. "Chill, dude. It's just stir-fry. That was it." I snapped. "It's not just stir-fry, Chad. It's about respect. It's about you constantly taking advantage of me." "I'm done." I stormed out of the room, slamming the door behind me. I walked around campus for hours, trying to calm down. I couldn't let him win. I had to do something bigger. That night, fueled by rage and desperation, I hatched a plan. A meticulous, elaborate plan. A plan that combined my knowledge of biochemistry with my newfound talent for petty revenge. I started by doing some research. I knew Chad was taking some kind of supplement to boost his performance. He was always secretive about it, hiding the bottle in his gym bag. I managed to sneak a peek one day. It was some obscure brand, promising incredible results. I looked it up online and discovered it contained a banned substance. Anonymously, I contacted the university's athletic department, providing details about the supplement and where to find it. It was a risk, I knew, but I was past the point of caring. Next, I turned my attention to the cafeteria. Chad was always showing off to his teammates, especially during lunch. I needed to create a moment. A spectacular, public moment. I knew the cafeteria staff occasionally had issues with the self-serve ice cream machine. It was prone to malfunctioning, dispensing the wrong flavors or getting clogged. I used this knowledge to my advantage. Using a syringe and a bit of culinary ingenuity, food science elective, I managed to inject a generous amount of extremely spicy chili sauce into the chocolate syrup dispenser. I made sure it was well mixed and undetectable. The next day, I waited. I saw Chad and his teammates enter the cafeteria, laughing and joking. Chad, of course, made a beeline for the ice cream machine. He filled a large bowl with vanilla ice cream and eagerly reached for the chocolate syrup. He pumped the dispenser, and a stream of bright red chili sauce splattered all over his ice cream, his hands, and his shirt. He took a bite, his face contorting in horror. He started coughing and gagging, tears streaming down his face. His teammates erupted in laughter. Chad, humiliated and sputtering, ran to the water fountain. The next few days were a blur. Chad was suspended from the team pending an investigation into the supplement allegations. He was furious, paranoid, and convinced someone was out to get him. He blamed everyone: his teammates, his coaches, even me. The chili sauce incident became legendary on campus. People were still talking about it weeks later. I watched the fallout of my actions, and a wave of guilt washed over me. I had gone too far. I had become consumed by my desire for revenge. Sarah confronted me. "Liam, I know it was you," she said, her voice calm but firm. "You need to stop. This is getting out of hand." I confessed, anonymously, to tampering with Chad's belongings, but not about reporting him for the banned substance or the chili sauce incident. Chad was furious, but also confused. He couldn't understand why someone would do this to him. He started to reflect on his own behavior, his own entitlement. I apologized to Professor Davies and vowed to get my grades back on track. I also started being more assertive with Chad, setting clear boundaries and refusing to let him walk all over me. Slowly, things started to change. Chad started buying his own food and cleaning up after himself. He even offered a grudging apology for eating my stir-fry. The dorm room dynamic shifted, becoming less hostile and more respectful. Emily and I started studying together more often. We shared meals, talked about our dreams, and laughed. I was starting to feel like myself again. One evening, I found myself back in the kitchen, preparing a new batch of stir-fry. This time, I made 2 batches, one for myself, and one labeled for Chad if you're actually hungry. I left it in the fridge, a silent gesture of peace. I got a text from Emily. Study date. I smiled, a genuine smile this time, and started cleaning up the cooking equipment. The chopping sound resumed. It was a sound of a closure. I texted Emily back, be right there.